If this is the first thing you see today when you open up YouTube or you clicked on this video just to watch my content, I want to wish you all a fantastic day or night, no matter when you watch this video, because you guys always bring me a smile, you bring me happiness, you bring me joy in my life. You guys are one of the main reasons why I get up every day and I can really just smile and be happy. And so with that, I want to share the positivity with all of you, because honestly, this is going to be a very, very positive video, because as you can see on screen, and as you can see probably by the title, animators are getting treated right. 4 major companies are coming together to increase the profits for animators. It is overall just great news. There's not really much negative to what was released early this morning, and so I want to kind of cover everything, get into the nitty-gritty, explain these 4 studios, explain what this means for the industry, etc. Let's just get right into it. So, Cloverworks, Wit Studios, Shueisha, and Aniplex have teamed up to form a new company called JOEN. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, and if I'm not, correct me in the comments below. But they have joined together to create a new company that produces art and animation, which aka means anime. And the actual business model, or what they're trying to do, is create a new business model, as you can see here, where they want to direct most of the profits back to the creators, aka animators, script writers, the directors, people basically on the ground floor making some of our best anime we have ever seen, maybe our personal favorites, etc. They want to direct those funds back to the said people on the floor. And as what we know currently from the current model of the anime industry, there's rare exceptions to it, but most of the time, despite how popular an anime is and how much it sells it gets, etc., the animators that actually work on said series don't really get a crease in pay. They don't get to see most of the profits that series makes, despite how popular it is. Obviously, there's exceptions to this, like KyoAni that works on a lot of series. They redirect a lot of the profits back to the people on the floor. But besides that, most of the current model in Japan, the animators don't really get much of a pay increase, etc., despite how popular something is. So when you look at this news, this is incredible, because obviously animators are extremely overworked. They, are underpaid. We've seen crunch time, and there's so many stories, so many articles. I've covered so many on this channel already, and I have talked about it consistently. And, many people have been opening up their eyes and becoming more and more aware of just how the anime industry is. Everybody is now starting to talk about it and become a lot more aware of the ongoing problems with the industry. I mean, hell, just a week ago, I made a video talking about the Disney executive pretty much saying, oh, animators are getting an increase in pay, which is an absolute lie, and we all know it is. So when we see this right here in front of us, this is just straight up great news. Now, to actually dive into it and explain this and who these companies are, in case some people are unaware, let's get into it. So Cloverworks and Wit Studios, I think people are going to recognize. They are the 2 studios that is working on Spy Family from this current anime season. I think everybody's heard about Spy Family. It's incredibly popular right now, but obviously you might want to know what these individual studios have worked on. Cloverworks, they have worked on My Dress Up Darling in recent times, and Wit Studios, they are responsible for Ranking of Kings and previously Attack on Titan. So those 2 studios are very big names. They're not lesser studios, so to say. Now Shueisha, I think people are going to instantly recognize them, but obviously some might not, because they might know them under a different name, and that is Shonen Jump. Shueisha owns the magazine. They own basically a lot of shonen magazines, so Shueisha is a giant. They are an absolute beast in terms of, the anime industry, the manga industry. They are massive. Aniplex as well is a very massive distributor of anime. I think they have they own ownership of Demon Slayer alongside of UFO Table. They have the Fate series. They are a massive company that has a really, really wide selection of very popular anime. So 4 massive companies coming together to form this new company. Now, the thing about all this is that these 4 studios these 4 companies, all have a history of overwork. They all have a history of some shady practices, production issues, etc. Aniplex has, Shueisha definitely has, Wit Studios has. Attack on Titan's a good reason, an example for that. Cloverworks has. I mean, My Promised Never, or The Promised Neverland, My Promise. I don't know why I said that. I was thinking of My Dress Up Darling, but The Promised Neverland. I mean, all these companies have examples of rush stuff or production issues, you know, different bad stories that come out about them. So seeing these 4 studios trying to make this type of change is definitely a good thing. It's nice seeing 4 giants within the anime industry willing to make an example of this, so like say something like this, that they want to help out the people on the ground floor. Now, this site here, which I'm going to click on to show you, it's already have it pulled up, but it's actually a Japanese site that is fully translated in English, which is absolutely incredible, so I can kind of go over this and kind of explain it. So, now this is JOEN. This is the official site of JOEN, the creative company that offers everything from planning to production. About us. We are pleased to announce that Cloverworks, Wit Studios, Shueisha, Aniplex have combined forces to found a new company focused on the production of art and animation. Our approach: Cloverworks and Wit Studios will work together to utilize their strengths to the fullest across the entire production process, from the planning stages to the final product. And I think this is very fascinating. Basically, I feel like the whole Spy Family stuff, with like Spy Family, you know, being worked on by Cloverworks and Wit Studios, this was like a precursor to what this is right here. That these 2 studios are working together, and you're going to be joining forces in this company. So we're going to be probably seeing a lot more projects of Cloverworks and Wit Studios working together from this point forward. But anyways, continuing on, as we will be involved in every step of the creative process, we will be able to ensure that the final product will be high quality and produced with values of the targeted business in mind. In addition to our collaboration with Cloverworks and Wit Studios, we also tend to use the industry connections provided by them to expand our scope and collaboration, or collaborate with various studios, producers, and creators to build a framework that allows us to prioritize those involved in the production process. So basically, it won't just be a Cloverworks Wit Studio thing. Cloverworks and Wit Studios will be able to open lines and connections to maybe other animators, other freelancers around the industry, and be able to bring them in to be able to allow them to be a part of this program, a part of this company, and get better pay, etc. Overall, that's great news. The last section: rather than moving all processes through a singular company, we will seek to match the best product or production lines and creators to each product or project. In addition, we will also provide aid through financial support, creating an environment for these projects to flourish, and more. Now, this is their vision, apparently. Now, more than ever, high-quality animation is vital to the success of creative works. Definitely. That is, we all can agree with that one. As such, animation studios have begun to play a greater role in the production process, simultaneously shouldering the growing demand and expectations that come with it. That demand and expectations is other companies kind of dipping their hands in the anime honeypot. For instance, Disney, and, you know, you have Netflix, etc. Even if the final product or the company that created said product is successful, it can be difficult to distribute the profits among the staff, creators, and those involved in the animation studio, which, you know, I already talked about in this video. To bring about change to the present situation, we aim to collaborate with these studios to build a new business model wherein profits are directed back to the creators, aka, you know, animators, etc. To nourish the production of high-quality animation, we as a production company would like to lay down the foundation for a long and prosperous future wherein creators can produce animation comfortably, basically without being overworked. That's good to hear. We aspire to introduce a new structure for those involved in the creation of animation by creating an environment that allows for the continuous production of high-quality animation while ensuring studios and creators are rewarded in line with what they produce. So, pay raises, etc. Company origin. JOEN is read as JOEN. Okay, it looks like I'm reading that right. JOEN can be written multiple ways when it's transcribed into kanji. A supporting role, aiding smooth facilitation, and support through connection. So it's a very well thought out name. I like that. Imagine if one were to add 3 stripes to the I in JOIN. This would transform the I into an E, turning JOIN into JOEN. Ah, that's cool. So, like, you know, there's no I in team. That's really cool. I like that. These 3 stripes are reminiscent of the famous Japanese legend of the 3 arrows, which turned the 3 arrows into a Japanese symbol of unity and teamwork. That's very nice. I like the message behind the name. Through the incorporation of these 3 tenets, the company will endeavor to play a supporting role and facilitate smooth connections between organizations. So Cloverworks Wit Studios will be the animation studio, a part of it. Aniplex will be the producer, and Shueisha will be the publisher. We strive to change the animation industry relative ventures by taking a supporting role and allowing the people involved in planning, production, and distribution to take center stage. We'd like to rise to the challenge of establishing a new framework for the animation industry through cooperation with those who can help us accomplish this goal, supporting creativity, empowering creators, and the company. And this is obviously all their information, their capital, etc. So let's break this down. Obviously, some of you might be a little bit lost. Some of you might like too long to not read, etc. Let's break this down. So pretty much, as I've already said, Cloverworks and Wit Studios, they're going to be the main frontline center animation studio. They'll be bringing in other studios potentially to help them out, but overall, they're the main people a part of this project. While Aniplex will be helping with the whole, they'll be the producer of this, while Shueisha will be in charge of publishing this and getting it out there. So overall, these mega companies are coming together to put their best assets in one pot to be able to make the best products that they absolutely can. This is, like I've already said, fantastic news. This means that animators, etc. will be treated right. Now, I hate to be a stinker and like a stick in the mud, but things do need to be pointed out. Cloverworks, Wit Studios, Shueisha, and Aniplex, they all four have a history of shady business practices, either production-wise, to maybe the way they treat their employees, etc. All of them have some shady practices, shady things you can look into and find out about. And so these four companies that obviously have some bad rep in some areas with animators and different workers, etc., seeing these four coming together and trying to do this is good. But obviously, seeing is believing in this day and age. And they can put on pretty airs, they could spray perfume on garbage, whatever, but at the end of the day, it's still garbage. So until we actually see this really initiated and doing something for the animators on the ground floor, we have to look at this with an eye of skepticism. We have to say, is this going to turn out like what they're saying, or is it going to turn into another spiral of just, taking advantage of animators? So like I said, I hate to be a stick in the mud, but that does need to be mentioned, that these four companies are responsible for a lot of good products, yes, but they also are responsible for a lot of things that they've done to employees in the past. So that needs to actually be noticed. That needs to be discussed as well. But yeah, that's about it though. I want to leave the video off there. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and I entertained you, giving any new information, etc., leave me a like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon down below. And I love you all. Thank you so much for giving me a smile. And with that, Chibi out.